Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Welcome to the deep dive. I'm just so glad you're here today because I feel like for the last couple of years, every single piece of software we use suddenly grew this little chat box in the corner.
Oh, absolutely. They're everywhere.
Right. Like you log into your accounting software and boom, there's a chat box. You open a recipe website to make dinner and there's a chat box asking if you want to, talk about the lasagna.
Yeah, the lasagna bot. It's ridiculous.
It's like we just took traditional software, slapped a magic AI sticker on it, and call it a day. But we are officially moving past that era.
We really are. The wrapper era is ending.
Exactly. So today, we're exploring a massive shift in how the things we use every day are actually built. And we're basing this on a really fascinating June 16th, 2026 article by Angela Myers.
From the AI World Journal.
Right, from the AI World Journal. It's titled AI Product Vision, Designing the Future of Intelligent Products. So, okay, let's unpack this, because Myers makes a really compelling argument that AI is no longer just a bolt-on feature.
No, not at all.
It's basically becoming the foundational operating system of modern products.
Yeah, it really is a fundamental rewiring of how we interact with machines. To really grasp the magnitude of this shift, we have to look at the architectural difference.
Like between the old way and the new way.
Exactly, between a traditional product vision and what Myers defines as an AI-native product vision.
Ooh.
Because for decades, software was built to solve problems through static, linear workflows.
It was highly deterministic.
Very deterministic. You click button A, the system performs action B. It does exactly what it's programmed to do, nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
But an AI-native product vision is built around probabilistic outcomes. It's designed to be adaptable, to navigate ambiguity, and crucially, to continuously learn and shift based on how it's actually being used in the wild.
So if we want to understand how to build these new systems, we probably need to look at why the old way is failing. I mean, just taking that AI wrapper and pasting it onto an existing app.
Yeah, it's a completely broken model at this point.
Because when you just add a chatbot API call to a legacy database, you aren't actually changing the user's workflow at all.
No, you're just giving them a conversational, and let's be honest, often really clunky way to interact with an old, rigid system.
Right, which is why Myers introduces this concept of intelligence-first design.
Yes. This completely flips the traditional development script.
How so?
Well, normally you'd build the dashboard, design the menus, and then ask, okay, where can we inject some machine learning into this?
Like an afterthought.
Exactly like an afterthought. But with intelligence-first design, you build the entire workflow around the intelligence itself. The baseline expectation is that the system should understand context proactively.
Meaning it predicts what you need before you even ask for it.
Exactly. It predicts, and it responds dynamically to changes. Myers uses a brilliant analogy here. She compares traditional software to a paper map.
Oh, yeah, the paper map thing.
Right, because a paper map has all the information you could ever need about a city, but it's a completely static workflow.
You have to do all the work.
All the heavy cognitive lifting. You have to locate yourself, find the destination, calculate the route.
Keep checking it while you're driving, which is terrifying.
Exactly. But intelligence-first design is like Waze or Google Maps.
Right, because Waze already knows your location from GPS. It pulls in real-time traffic data, and it just proactively routes you around a traffic jam before you even see the brake lights.
It does the work for you.
It sounds like, the difference between a microwave where you have to punch in the exact time, the weight, the power level.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Versus like a smart oven that just uses computer vision to identify the food and cooks it perfectly on its own.
That visual perfectly captures the transition. The intelligence in the smart oven is doing the heavy lifting of context gathering. So the human doesn't have to translate their goal like, cook this chicken into machine parameters.
But I have to ask a pushback question here.
Go for it.
If the software is doing everything proactively before I even search for it, don't we risk losing control? Like if my oven starts deciding how I like my food, Or my work software just starts sending emails or formatting reports before I ask it to. Isn't there a huge risk of just feeling totally alienated by the product?
Oh, absolutely. That is the existential question for product builders right now.
Because we want tools,
Right.
not software that just takes over our lives.
Right. If a user feels replaced or overwhelmed, they will churn immediately. They will uninstall the app.
Yeah.
And this leads directly into how engineering teams are actively designing against that exact fear.
Okay.
Myers lays out 5 core principles for designing for AI, and the very first one tackles your concern head-on.
Which is?
Human-centered AI. The core philosophy here is that the goal is augmentation over automation.
Meaning the AI acts as a co-pilot, not an autopilot.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
It should never strip away human agency. It's about reducing the friction between human intent and the final outcome. In fact, Myers makes a really bold statement here.
What's that?
She says that if a user has to think hard about how to prompt the AI, the product vision has failed.
Oh, wow. So no more prompt engineering.
Right. Having to learn a specialized prompt engineering language is basically the modern equivalent of having to learn DOS commands in the 1980s.
That makes so much sense. The interaction shouldn't feel like you're commanding a machine. It should just feel like a natural extension of your own intention.
Exactly. So the intelligence is there to serve the human naturally and intuitively.
But as it serves the human, it's also watching and learning, right? Which brings up the second principle.
The data flywheel.
Yeah, the data flywheel. This is this idea that an AI product gets fundamentally better as more people use it.
Right. More usage creates more real-world data.
Which refines the underlying model, making it smarter, which then attracts more users. But, and here's my question, that creates a massive management challenge, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because if a system is constantly learning from new, noisy data out in the wild, it can develop bad habits, right?
Yes. That phenomenon is known as model drift, and it's a huge focus for AI teams right now.
Model drift.
Yeah. Unlike traditional software, which only changes when developers compile new code and push a manual update,
Right.
an AI model is more like a continuous living organism. If you don't actively manage the data feeding it, a model learning from noisy or biased interactions can actually degrade in quality.
It gets worse over time.
Exactly. It can become less accurate, or it can start adopting the weird biases of its user base.
Okay, that risk of model drift totally makes sense because if the system is constantly feeding on new user behaviors, it's basically morphing to fit them.
Yes, which leads us right to the third principle.
Radical personalization at scale.
Right, because traditional software just chunks users into broad demographic buckets.
Like maybe you get a specific interface because you fall into the millennials and urban areas cohort or whatever.
Exactly. But AI allows for true one-to-one personalization. The model is tracking your specific micro-interactions.
The tone it uses, the interface.
Yeah, the recommendations it makes, they all adapt uniquely to your specific brain. And from a business perspective, this creates incredibly high switching costs for competitors.
Oh, because if a tool has spent 2 years learning exactly how you prefer your weekly reports formatted.
Right, moving to a rival piece of software means starting that education all over again. No one wants to do that.
Which brings us to the fourth principle. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Calibrated trust.
Yes, calibrated trust. Because earlier I asked about losing control to this proactive, hyper-personalized machine, and this seems like the antidote.
It is the antidote.
But I gotta ask, is calibrated trust just a fancy way of saying we need to let the user peek behind the curtain so they don't panic and uninstall the app? I mean, how much trust is too much trust?
That's a great question. The word calibrated is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. You want users to trust the AI exactly as much as they should. No more, no less.
Because overtrusting is bad.
Overtrusting is incredibly dangerous. Think about a driver trusting their GPS so blindly they drive straight into a lake.
Right, or a doctor trusting a flawed AI diagnosis.
Exactly. But undertrusting is equally problematic. Because if the user constantly second-guesses a highly accurate system, the tool loses all its utility.
So how do you actually calibrate it in the design?
Myers argues products must provide 3 structural elements. First is visibility.
Okay.
The system needs ambient cues to show what the AI is doing right now, so it doesn't just feel like this scary black box. Second is explainability.
Right, so when it makes a recommendation.
It needs to be able to tell you why it made that specific decision based on your data. And third is agency. There must always be a highly visible, frictionless way for the user to override or undo the action.
Yeah, if I can't undo it easily, I'm definitely not going to trust it with anything important.
Exactly.
So we have intelligence-first design, human-centered augmentation, the data flywheel, radical personalization, and calibrated trust.
That's the fact.
But to actually deliver on those principles, especially that trust piece with visibility and explainability, I mean, we can't just slap a friendly interface on a black box model. The whole underlying architecture of the software has to be rebuilt, right?
Right. And this brings us to the technology stack, which Myers breaks down into 5 interconnected layers.
Okay.
It's no longer just about designing a sleek user interface. Orchestrating these layers has basically become a matter of literal business survival.
So to build that architecture, I imagine it starts at the surface with what the user actually touches, the experience layer.
Yes. The experience layer encompasses the conversational UI, multimodal inputs like voice and vision and dynamic interfaces that shift their layout based on what you were trying to accomplish.
And beneath that?
Beneath that is the intelligence layer. This is the actual brain of large language models, predictive models, and reasoning engines.
Right.
And a really crucial part of this layer is RAG, or retrieval augmented generation.
Let's pause on RAG for a second, because that's a huge piece of how these tools stay accurate, right?
It is massive, yeah.
Instead of just relying on whatever the model memorized during its initial training, RG acts like an open book test.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
It allows the AI to retrieve facts from an external updated database, like a company's internal documents or the live internet, before it generates an answer. It dramatically reduces hallucinations.
It grounds the AI in reality.
Yeah.
But for RG to actually work, you need the third level, which is the data layer.
Okay.
And this isn't just your grandfather's SQL database of rows and columns. It involves advanced collection strategies and vector databases.
And vector databases are fascinating to me because they allow the AI to store concepts as mathematical relationships in space.
Yes.
It's how the AI understands that the concept of king is related to queen or royalty rather than just looking for exact keyword matches.
Right. And if your data hygiene is bad at this layer, your AI's reasoning at the intelligence layer will be terrible. Bad data in, bad intelligence out.
Makes sense.
From there, we move to the fourth layer, which is operations and infrastructure, often called MLOps. MLOps.
Yeah. This dictates how the product runs at scale. It handles latency, which is the delay between a user asking a question and the AI responding.
Oh, and nobody likes waiting.
Right. It also handles continuous model monitoring to fight that drift we talked about earlier, and computing cost management.
Okay. And the fifth layer.
Finally, the fifth layer is ethics and governance. These are the hard-coded guardrails.
Things like content filtering, bias mitigation, and compliance with privacy laws like GDPR in Europe or CCPA in California.
Exactly. Making sure user data is walled off and secure.
But wait, why is mastering these 5 layers suddenly such a quote-unquote business imperative right now? Why couldn't a company just license a super smart model from OpenAI or Anthropic and call it a day?
Because those foundational models are no longer competitive moats.
Really?
They are commodities. Everyone from enterprise giants to teenagers in a garage has access to the exact same reasoning engines.
Wow, okay. The product vision, how a company actually weaves those 5 layers together to solve a specific human problem elegantly, that is the only defensible moat left.
And without that vision, the article points out you basically face disaster on 3 fronts.
You do?
First is feature bloat, confusing users with disjointed AI tools that just don't make sense together.
Yep.
Second is erosion of trust, because if you haven't nailed the data and governance layers, your system will inevitably hallucinate or leak.
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
Private data.
which leads to instant churn and massive PR nightmares.
Exactly. And third is unsustainable unit economics.
And that third point is where most AI startups actually fail.
So what does this all mean? It sounds like you could build the smartest AI tool in the world, but if every interaction costs you too much computing power, you basically bankrupt yourself with your own success.
Yes.
Is the operations layer, the MLOps, actually the secret boss of all this?
MLOps is absolutely the secret sauce. Let's just do the math for a second.
Yeah.
If you haven't optimized your infrastructure, and it costs you 10 cents in computing power every time a user queries your app,
Right.
and a single user asks 50 questions a day on a flat $5 monthly subscription.
Oh, wow. Your business model is fundamentally broken.
Completely broken. You are losing money on every single active user.
So the product vision has to account for latency and cost per interaction from day one, choosing smaller, cheaper models for simple tasks, and only bringing in the expensive models when absolutely necessary.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've looked at the existential threats of getting this wrong. Let's look at the companies actually getting it right. How are these abstract architectural layers being applied to deeply improve human life?
Myers highlights several categories of success here. Let's start with anticipatory assistance.
Yeah.
Think about the modern Apple and Google ecosystems. Their vision isn't just to provide a search bar anymore. It's to read context securely across your emails, your calendars, your messages.
It's the system understanding, like you have a flight at 4 p.m., checking live traffic, and notifying you to leave for the airport an hour earlier than planned.
Right. It's totally proactive. Then there's creative friction removal, championed by platforms like Canva and Figma.
Right, because their vision isn't just let's build an AI that makes art.
No.
The vision is removing the frustrating gap between imagination and execution. The AI handles the tedious mechanical parts, generating a first draft, perfectly isolating a subject from a background, formatting layouts.
Right, so the human can focus entirely on a high-level creative direction, which leads us to high-stakes decision support, where the implications are literally life and death.
Oh, yeah. Viz.ai is a standout here. It completely blew my mind.
It's incredible technology.
It's like the difference between buying a medical textbook and hiring a chief of staff.
Oh, I love that.
Because the medical textbook just sits there on the desk waiting for you to open it and search for an answer, which is traditional software. But the chief of staff taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, we have an emergency. I already called the team. Here are the briefs.
That chief of staff analogy is spot on, because Viz.ai algorithms silently analyze CT scans in the background of a hospital's network.
Right.
When it detects a suspected stroke, it doesn't just put a little red flag on a digital dashboard for a doctor to hopefully notice during their rounds.
It actively pings them.
It actively pings the on-call neurologist on their phone with the scan
Oh.
and mobilizes the entire care team immediately.
It turns a passive diagnostic tool into an active operational workflow savior. It's amazing.
It really is. And then in the education space, there's adaptive learning. Duolingo Max moved away from those static linear lesson trees to real-time role play.
Right, so the AI acts as a conversational partner that adapts to your specific vocabulary level, corrects your grammar in real time.
Simulating the pressure and nuance of an actual conversation in a foreign country.
Now, to really solidify what an AI native product looks like at a granular level, Myers provides deep dives into 5 specific standalone products. The first is Cursor.
Cursor, the coding editor.
Yeah. Now, traditional software like VS Code is essentially a dumb canvas, right?
Basically, yeah, you type the code, and it might highlight syntax errors, but that's about it.
But Cursor's vision is to be an intelligence-first integrated development environment.
And the mechanism is what makes it brilliant. You hit Command-K and type a natural language prompt, like change the header color to blue across all mobile views.
Okay.
Cursor uses local context to understand your entire existing code base and actually writes the code across multiple files simultaneously.
But wait, going back to that calibrated trust principle, how does a human programmer trust that the AI didn't just break the entire app or delete a critical function somewhere else?
By heavily relying on the visibility and agency pillars, Cursor shows the developer a diff view, a side-by-side comparison with green text for additions and red text for deletions.
Oh, so you review the exact logic it changed and just hit accept or reject.
Exactly. The AI acts as the tireless pair programmer writing the boilerplate, but the human remains the senior engineer reviewing the pull request.
Okay, Cursor is keeping developers in the loop, but what about the average consumer who just wants to chat? How does trust work when the AI is supposed to feel more like a friend?
That's the second example, Pi. by Inflection AI.
Right.
It represents the hyper-personalized companion. A traditional search engine gives you a sterile list of blue links, but Pi is explicitly designed to be emotionally intelligent.
And the personalization is deep, like it remembers context from weeks ago.
Very deep. If you tell Pi you're stressed about a job interview on Tuesday, it will proactively message you on Wednesday to ask how it went.
Using an expressive conversational voice model and warm language.
Exactly.
But again, trust. If it sounds that empathetic and human, couldn't someone vulnerable start taking serious medical or psychological advice from it?
That is where the ethics layer defines the product vision. Pi builds calibrated trust, specifically by refusing to give medical, financial, or legal advice. By knowing its lane and enforcing hard boundaries, users actually trust it more as a supportive sounding board.
Which is a great pivot to the third example, Harvey, because Harvey is exactly the AI you want for legal advice.
Yes, Harvey is a high-stakes legal assistant designed to augment elite lawyers.
Because traditionally, junior lawyers spend hundreds of grueling hours manually reviewing case law and contracts. Right.
Right, and the critical architectural layer for Harvey is governance. Law firms cannot risk client privilege, so Harvey operates in SOC2 secure, isolated environments.
Meaning a law firm's highly confidential merger documents never get sucked into a public model's training data.
Never. It's a completely walled garden. It's also fine-tuned heavily on verified legal data using RAG to prevent the model from hallucinating fake court cases.
And again, it only generates drafts. The human lawyer retains agency as the final reviewer.
Always. Now, the fourth example tackles a different kind of data anxiety.
Limitless, formerly known as Rewind.
Yes. It's an ambient memory assistant. Its vision is to passively capture what you see, hear, and say on your devices, essentially making your digital life entirely searchable.
Right, so if you jump on a Zoom call, it automatically knows who you are talking to via calendar integration, records the audio, and generates a summary and action items afterward.
Right.
But, okay, the privacy implications of a tool constantly recording your screen and microphone are terrifying. The fear of a hot mic sending your private conversations to a cloud server is immense.
Which is exactly why their product vision demanded privacy by design at the operations layer.
So Limitless relies on local on-device processing.
Exactly. The heavy lifting of the AI analyzing your screen or voice happens right on your laptop's own chips.
The raw data isn't being scraped and sent to a centralized cloud.
No. They solved a massive human trust problem through their literal hardware architecture.
That's brilliant. And the final example is a bit lighter, but it perfectly illustrates explainability. Spotify DJ.
Oh, I love Spotify DJ.
Instead of just relying on algorithmic tags to build a playlist like the old Discover Weekly, Spotify DJ combines the intelligence layer for song selection with a generative AI voice and a dynamic interface.
It's context-aware. It knows if it's a rainy Monday morning or a Friday night pregame.
Right. But the genius part is that it tells you why it picked a song. The DJ voice will come in and say, here's a song you had on repeat 3 summers ago.
Which hits that explainability piece of calibrated trust beautifully.
Exactly. It's not a black box throwing random tracks at you. It's explaining its reasoning, which makes you feel understood.
The through line for product builders across all 5 of these examples, Cursor, Pi, Harvey, Limitless, and Spotify DJ, is that not a single one started with a vision of, let's find a way to use a large language model.
Right. They all started with a human problem. Coding is tedious, legal review is slow, music curation lacks soul.
And they used AI as the invisible underlying engine to solve it. Precisely the point Myers makes.
So if this is the current state of the art to avoid commoditization, and the data flywheel means these systems are only getting smarter every day, where exactly is this taking us in the next 3 to 5 years?
Myers outlines 4 major evolutionary leaps here.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first is the shift to agentic workflows.
Right.
We will move entirely from AI answering questions to AI executing multi-step tasks.
So you won't just ask an AI to plan a Japan itinerary?
No, the AI agent will literally navigate the websites, book the flights, reserve the hotels using your credit card, and place the events on your calendar.
Wow. The machine actually takes the action. That is a massive leap in agency. What's the second leap?
Ambient computing. The AI interface is going to fade into the background.
Interesting.
Yeah, we will interact less through tapping on glowing glass screens and more through natural, context-aware conversations in our physical environments. Smart glasses, wearables, and intelligent rooms.
Which flows directly into the third step, emotionally intelligent interfaces.
Right. Products won't just adapt to what task you are doing. They will use biometric feedback and vocal analysis to adapt to how you are feeling, adjusting their tone, pacing, and complexity accordingly.
And the fourth leap is cross-platform ecosystems. So your personalized AI assistant won't be trapped in a single app silo. The context of your life will carry seamlessly from your work laptop to your personal phone to your car's dashboard.
Exactly.
Okay, I have to push back on ambient computing for a second.
Okay, let's hear it.
If the AI fades entirely into the background and it's just seamlessly executing tasks across my laptop, my phone, and my car based on my emotions,
Yep.
doesn't that make the visibility part of calibrated trust we talked about earlier almost impossible? How do I trust a system that I can't even see operating?
If we connect this to the broader picture, you've just highlighted the central tension of the next decade of product design.
Really?
Yeah. The invisibility of the hardware interface cannot mean the invisibility of the AI's logic. Even if the interaction is completely ambient and screenless, the system must still proactively offer receipts.
So it has to casually, maybe audibly, inform you of the actions it took on your behalf.
Yes, and critically, always offer an ambient, frictionless way to reverse them.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, the most successful products in the next 5 years won't be the ones with the longest feature lists or the biggest models.
What will they be?
They will be the ones that elegantly, responsibly, and scalably answer the ultimate question. How can machine intelligence deeply improve human life without compromising human agency?
That is a phenomenal synthesis of the core challenge. For you listening right now, whether you are a product builder trying to design the architecture for the next big app, or just a curious user trying to understand why your Spotify app suddenly feels like a close friend who knows your moods.
It changes everything.
Recognizing the shift from wrapper to vision completely changes how you look at the software you touch every single day. We are moving from passive tools that wait for our keystrokes to proactive systems that anticipate our needs. But I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder on your own, building on that Canva and Figma example we discussed earlier. If AI product vision completely removes the friction between our imagination and the final execution, if the tool just builds the website, codes the app, books the flight, or paints the picture for us, what happens to human skill? In a world where the AI acts as the ultimate executor of tasks, does the definition of human mastery shift entirely from knowing how to do things to simply knowing what things are worth doing?
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.